Yesterday was Black Friday, but that mad dash for the best deals has changed a bit over the last couple of years. The post-Thanksgiving weekend of spikes of Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday have all dissolved into kind of a Halloween through New Year's shopping experience. Well, how do you navigate it all to get the best deals and the best gifts? Joining us now to give us some holiday shopping tips is the president of Retail Strategies, Lacy Beasley. Lacy, good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tom.
So this kind of Hunger Games experience of Black Friday that we all remember, it's kind of changing. We tend to be, I guess, shopping a little earlier, using more online. Talk to us about some of the shopping trends that you've been seeing going into this holiday season.
Well, absolutely. Things have changed so much over the last decade. And as we have the comfort and convenience of being able to shop from home and really sit on our couch and order all the best deals and all the best variety, that has become far more appealing to us as consumers. And especially if you look at last year and what's happened, a lot of us as consumers were very concerned about the supply chain. So we shopped early because we didn't think we were going to be able to get that product in. We shopped in store. And that is something that we have really transitioned into this year in this holiday season. So 1 in 5 Americans have already completed most of their holiday shopping, which is amazing when historically we use this weekend of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Small Business Saturday as really an indicator of what would happen with retail sales. That is no longer the case. It is really not about the big spikes of this weekend. It's really from Halloween all the way through the new year. Although a lot of Americans are getting out, about 166 million Americans are predicted to get out either in store or online shopping this weekend, that it's just not quite the same as it used to be.
You know, with all the economic uncertainty, what can Americans do to get the most out of these holiday sales? And there are a lot of them, and there are more of them. I heard, and you can tell me if this is a trend that you're seeing as well, that they've started earlier, but then they're also kind of waiting a little bit longer to get those better deals. What are your thoughts?
Well, yes, as retailers the supply chain has loosened up and retailers have extra supply now, there are still some spikes and some really good deals that you can get from retailers. They are trying to decide how they can really get that consumer to come into the store to shop. Retailers are heavily burdened right now with returns. Hundreds of billions of dollars in returns are happening. So how do they get the consumer to come into store, to have that in-store conversion and really appeal to the consumer that way? So retailers are looking at that. But as we look at ways that we as consumers can really spread our dollar, I would tell consumers, one, to create a budget, really start there and try to stick with it. Don't try to buy a gift for everyone you know. When it comes to all your coworkers and the educators and all your neighbors, or if you are going to do that, try to buy in bulk and make it yourself. A lot of people over the last couple of years picked up some sort of hobby where they've learned how to bake or home crafts or painting. So consider making your gifts as opposed to purchasing them. It's a great way to save dollars this year and really stretch that dollar out. When you go shop in store, I recommend shopping weekdays. There's more product on the shelf during the weekdays. And when you go to checkout, ask at the counter if there's any additional discounts that you're not aware of. A lot of times there might be a discount where you might not have the coupon, but the person at the checkout will give that to you. Or you could even download the store app and identify some coupons within store app. A lot of retailers are even doing forms of layaway or in-store funding payment programs that you can look at if you really want to not have that substantial spike of this season. And if you look at inflation, a lot of people are trying to go ahead and buy things now that really they know that Q1, Q2 of next year might cost more. So people are not just shopping for their friends and family, they are also shopping for themselves and trying to buy early.
All right, now I have to ask you this. We've talked about how to kind of stretch your dollar, but now let's talk a little bit about some of the gift trends. I know that when I was a kid, we had things called toy stores. You may remember those. We made Christmas lists well in advance. I ask my kids what they want, and they kind of you know, we live in this digital society. They kind of shrug. You know, I have one kid that wants a flamethrower. I'm not sure that's going to happen. But talk to us about some of the latest kind of 2022 hot gift trends, especially for kids and teenagers who are getting harder to buy for, I think.
Well, absolutely. Leave the flamethrowers and the karaoke machines and anything that takes assembling or batteries. Leave that for the aunts and uncles to buy the kids, right? As parents, what we're really seeing as hot items are luxury sneakers. So that is very popular, and you can buy those at a discount on websites like Shock or Goat, right? So that's a great place where you can find those luxury sneakers with a big margin of discount. Look at jerseys and hats. Those are incredibly popular. And of course, all things electronics. So as you mentioned, it used to be the kids store where maybe each child would get 10 small gifts. Well, now it's about one larger gift, and it's going to be something along the lines of a tablet, speaker, something that's electronic that is really very appealing. And also just think about the bifurcation between value and experience.
Yeah.
Experience is really what Americans are doing now, and it's a great way to get the bang for the buck if you can consider your family vacation for next year, how much you're going to spend on that family vacation, and give it as a Christmas gift.
That's a great idea.
You're kind of doubling down on that, whether it's a music festival or going to the theater or going to Disney. Go ahead and consider purchasing that and announcing that gift now.
All right, terrific. Great advice. Lacy Beasley, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the
truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
me decide.
Newsmax.
real news
For real people.